Всем привет, друзья! С вами Фиеста, и я продолжаю проходить вампира. Так, а куда я собирался тут? О, я убежище нашел. Это здорово. Так, посмотрим. О, тут даже может через убежище проходить. Вообще классно. Так, отлично. Так, все есть. Денежка есть. Можно даже попробовать прокачаться. Так, щит, наверное, прокачаю. Щита разрывается. Угу. Так, пойдем по этой. Ну, вроде отлично. Так, особняк где-то тут. Расспросить жителей. Как же все сложно. Где вход находится? Так, это не он. Так, отсюда я пришел. Так, это не то. Расспросить жителей. Ну, давайте еще попробуем порасспрашивать. А там, помню, где еще находится. С одной девушкой надо поговорить. Что она нам скажет. Вот она.
I hope you can stay a little longer this time.
I am sorry, I can't help you, sir. Perhaps you should talk with someone else instead.
Good evening, Miss Price. I'm Dr. Reed. Do you remember me?
Dr. Reed? Yes, of course. You are the doctor who healed me and my mum. Good evening, Dr. Reed.
Good to see you too, Carol. Are you all right?
Oh, yes. I did not hurt myself recently. I know how to take care of myself now. I'm almost a grown-up.
Так, спросим что-то. Не спится?
Why are you awake at night, Carol?
I am helping my mother in her shop. It's not easy, but I'm a grown-up now.
Работа дается
Why
мне
is
легко.
work not easy? Is something or someone bothering you?
Oh no, most people are gentle with me. But I'm so nervous sometimes. I pay no attention and hurt myself. Good thing my mum learned first aid.
Так, мать гордится вами.
I'm sure your mother is grateful for your help.
I do the best I can. But I'm so clumsy sometimes. I drop things. I injure myself. It's a good thing my mother has the patience of an angel.
А про
Can you
район
tell
что
me of
расскажешь?
the people living nearby?
I don't speak to many people, except our customers. It's not easy to make friends. And with the epidemic, it's even more difficult.
Dr. Reed, I am glad.
Have you no friends at all?
No. Mr. Nithicut used to pass by and was always nice to me.
Does he not come by anymore?
No. Mum said he was weird. Always reciting poetry about a girl he'd met in Whitechapel. I wonder who this camellia may be.
Так, а про эпидемию?
What can you tell me about the epidemic?
Может,
Some
что-то
of our
знаете?
regular customers have left London. Some others only send their housemaids now. Everybody fears the contagion. I've even seen men with weapons.
Не, ну с оружием людей мы тоже видели. Даже некоторых поубивали.
Do you enjoy working with your mother?
Oh yes, Doctor. My mother raised me alone after my father died. We've always lived together, and she has always watched over me.
Do you remember your father?
No, I was just a baby then. My mother always told me how strong and good he was.
Do you ever think about getting married now you're a woman?
Oh no, Dr. Reed. Mum always says I'm still a child who has no idea how tough life can be. No husband would like a clumsy girl like me.
Так, понятно. Про Доусона
Have you
спросим.
ever met the famous Aloysius Dawson?
Yes, a very strange man, not very nice.
What do you mean?
He said he was ready to pay good money for rare books, and then laughed at what we showed him.
Goodbye, Carol.
Понятно. А ну давайте сейчас зададим вопрос еще к матери.
I can't help you, sir.
Good evening, Miss Price.
You know you can call me Carolyn, my dear doctor.
Вы знаете, как Кэрол вам предана.
Carol's gratitude is exemplary. She seems determined never to leave you.
I'm taking care of my daughter as well as I can. It's not always easy, but she's the best gift life gave me.
But she'll probably leave you someday to live her own life. Will that be difficult for you?
Why would she leave? Children sometimes stay with their parents until the end, for they know no one else will love them as much.
Goodbye for now, Miss
Ладно.
Price.
I hope you can stay a little longer this time.
Так, ладно. У меня другой вопрос. Как мне войти в особняк?
It's locked.
Вы не говорите, что через катакомбы те. И что это такое? Ну, типа открывать тайный проход. Блин, а ты кто такой?
It's locked.
Jonathan Reed. At last we meet. The cards warned me you would visit tonight.
I beg your pardon, sir. Do I know you?
Of course you do. Our mutual friend, Dr. Swansea, can't speak highly enough of you. My name is Usher. Usher Talltree.
You are the leader of the Brotherhood, are you not?
Primate of the Brotherhood of St. Paul's Stole, to be precise. I'm really glad we met tonight. I love it when the cards tell me a truth.
The cards told you to expect me.
Yes, they tell me everything. They told me that you struggle hard not to take too many lives.
Не, ну это да, это правильно они сказали.
What can you tell me about the neighborhood?
I really don't know. I don't often go outside. And when I do, it's usually to quite distant destinations.
So you see nothing in the stars for me? You're a poor fortune teller then.
Oh, I can tell you many things, but they will only concern you, not the city. For example, I know that you offered your sister the final rest she asked for.
Read my fortune then.
You have been chosen, Jonathan. I see on you the mark of a strong being, so powerful it needn't even reveal its strength.
Ну, вроде правильно говорит.
Do the cards speak of my Mary?
No. It's the burning aura of guilt that precedes you everywhere you go.
Tell me about yourself. What do you do here, besides turning cards in the middle of the night?
I'm for most a charlatan. For a few, I'm a vampire. And for you, I'm the primate of St. Paul's Stole.
For how long have you been a primate?
It was 15 years last year.
What do you make of Dr. Swansea?
Edgar is a brilliant and dedicated man. A man of his time, sometimes a little muddled, but always looking for new paths and new concepts.
Так, понятно.
Some believe you to be a vampire. Who?
The Guard of Priwen, who else? For a time, they sent spies to observe my activities, and they even broke into my home to gather proof.
Did they steal anything from you?
A personal notebook they quickly took to their headquarters. All they had to do is to look at me. I'm aging. What better and definite proof that I'm not an immortal?
Do you want your notebook back?
If you ever find it, I'd be glad to have it back, of course. I do ask one thing, though. Do not read it, Jonathan. Some secrets are not meant to be revealed, even to immortals.
Не, ну если мы даже найдем, то все равно прочитаем.
Can you read the cards for me?
Are you sure you want to know what they will reveal?
Yes, I am.
It will cost you 150 shillings.
Here is the money.
The mother, a suffering soul, ashamed of her silence, terrified to raise her voice, a son to be killed.
Can you read the
Put the money on the table then, Jonathan, and open your mind.
Here is the money.
The alchemist, a wise and cunning mind who lives by lying to all but himself. He sells false promises and is proud of it.
Погодите, что за алхимик? Ага, все понял.
Can
Ладно,
you read
давайте
The money
еще.
on the table that
Мне
Here
интересно, что он
is the
скажет.
the coward, a man almost proud of the crime he did not commit. An accident disguised as an act of courage.
Can you read
Блин,
the
я так
cards?
сейчас
The
все
money
деньги
on the
ему
table
отдам.
then, Jonathan, and
Here is the money.
fallen tower, a man of science, a proud fool, taking the wrong path to achieve greatness. A secret well hidden.
Так, ну все, это ему все деньги поотдаю сейчас.
May I ask you about the Brotherhood?
Of course, but I must warn you that there are some subjects we consider taboo, in spite of our fondness and acceptance of your kind.
Who founded the Brotherhood?
That's precisely the kind of question I cannot answer. It is delicate and may reveal some of our secret traditions.
So you're not just a club of academics and scholars?
Once upon a time, very long ago, the Brotherhood did more than simply study the vampires. They took actions to eliminate the more ferocious and corrupted.
I know there is no love lost between the Guard of Priwen and the Brotherhood. What caused this rift?
It was 1801. The Brotherhood was stronger then. A strength that made them hungry for ever greater power. An argument divided them, and the wound never healed.
What was the nature of the disagreement?
The problem was that both sides considered themselves the legitimate heirs of the original Brotherhood. We divide up the books, the relics, not always fairly or with consideration.
Ага. Так, ну тут открылись два вопроса. Кто вам рассказал о Мэри?
How did you learn about Mary? And spare me the hocus-pocus parlor tricks. The truth, now!
Swansea told me. Don't look at me like that. His task is to observe and gather information about vampires. He had to tell me about Mary.
Mary did not deserve her fate. She had already suffered enough during her life. And yet the pain and the suffering went on after her death.
Suffering is part of the immortal condition. Some prefer to lose their minds rather than face the simple truth. Pain will never stop.
How do you measure the amount of blood on my hands?
I told you. The cards always tell the truth. Well, most of the time.
Is it possible to tell me my future?
A vampire's fate is much more delicate to read, Doctor. But I can try.
All right. Let me hear it.
The walls of your prison have already been raised, Jonathan. But you will freely accept to be locked inside, full of hope for a better day.
I would rather not know.
Так, а Доусон еще
Is there
спросим?
anything you could tell me about Aloysius Dawson?
Aloysius Dawson. Yes, of course. We met on several occasions. With time, he got deeper and deeper into the occult.
He's not the only one. It's been quite the fashion for several decades. The Golden Dawn, for instance, is just one example.
True. Aloysius was a member of the Golden Dawn until 1900. Then his thirst for dark knowledge grew. I'm talking forbidden texts, readings which blackened his heart.
Goodbye, sir. Until we meet again.
I rarely wander, yet it amuses me to converse with your kind. Red River, Song in the Dark.
Так, давайте ему дадим лекарство от переутомления. У меня вроде есть.
Good evening.
Do you require medic? You'll feel better after taking this.
Thank you very much. I feel better already.
Goodbye, sir.
I rarely wander. Gods never lie, but they are
Так,
never easy to
ладно.
read.
А теперь войти в особняк. Так, не тут. Было, конечно, мне интересно, что это. За кнопки. Блин, так и манит поклацать. Войти в особняк. Сейчас бы его еще найти, этот особняк. Блин, где же его искать-то? Так. Так, смотрим. А, это убежище. Блин, как же. Ну, я так понимаю, я не туда пришел. Чем он так много урона нанес? Хорошо. Так, отлично. Я хоть правильно пришел, мне интересно. Да, отлично. Ну, я никого не вижу.
Mansion. Here I am at last. But the question remains. Am I ready to make a dying man my progeny?
Я думаю, что я не буду делать его своим потомком. Вот. Я послушаюсь леди Эшбер. Она нам сказала, лучше не делать. Не знаю, так правильно будет или нет, но не буду его делать своим потомком. Тем более, что люди о нем плохо отзывались, с которыми я разговаривал. И после того, что он нам рассказал, хочет построить же еще стены, отгородить, короче, улицы. Я думаю, не будем делать. Вот я, конечно, протупил, когда нам давали выбор спасти священника от того, дать ему своей крови надо было. Может быть, вот там его и надо было спасти.
Reduced in rank for falsely accusing a man of murder. I wonder what Inspector Albright thinks about his punishment.
Так, что у нас тут есть еще такого?
It's locked, all right.
Так, сейф на втором этаже, надо не забыть. Так, сейчас еще осмотрюсь. пока ничего я не вижу.
It's locked.
Тут тоже закрыто.
Finally you're here, Dr. Reed. What took you so long?
I had to pass several of your barricades and outposts to access your mansion, sir.
Death, pestilence surround us, and time is against me.
I see you've gathered some of the most expensive, albeit experimental, blood transfusion equipment available. All this could be so useful in a hospital.
Yes, yes. Since Lord Redgrave sent me a doctor to perform my conversion, I thought you might find some of these devices useful.
Most thoughtful. But tonight I'm not here as a physician.
But I feel reassured that a specialist such as yourself would help me to escape the Reaper.
Very well. But before I proceed, I have a few questions for you.
If you must, but be quick, for I don't have much time left in this life.
First of all, I need to be sure that you know exactly what is going to happen to you, sir.
I can assure you I'm as informed as any man can be. I have planned for this moment, Dr. Reed. Planned very carefully.
Sir, I'm going to end your life. Do you not wish to discuss the procedure for even a minute?
I don't have a minute to indulge in idle chatter. I can't feel my legs. And the cold. So cold.
I will become your maker. Do you understand what that means?
Well, I certainly won't consider you my liege, or some such drivel. You can be assured of that.
You'll need to feed on warm blood. Blood from mortals. How do you feel about that?
I'm rich, Dr. Reed, and powerful. I'm sure I'll be able to acquire all the blood I need without ever having to sully my own hands.
What do you know about the Guard of Priwen?
What I do know is that I'll crush anyone or anything that would dare to oppose me.
Let's move on then.
Please, I'm cold and tired. I feel my life waning with every moment.
But first, before you embrace immortality, what would you do with such a gift?
That's a rather impertinent question, Dr. Reed. And I will do as I please.
Answer me all the same. What will your first action be as an immortal?
To save London. I will finance the most efficient quarantine ever seen. I will build a wall that will separate the sick boroughs from the healthy ones.
Who gave you the right to decide the fate of thousands of people?
My money. My money and my pending immortality gives me the needed authority, Doctor. I'm a businessman. I'm used to tough decisions.
Так, ладно, о карантинных зонах что скажешь?
You really plan to build a quarantine wall across London?
Yes, it will be tall and strong, separating the wheat from the chaff.
Let me guess. You mean to isolate the rich from the poor?
This is a desperate measure for desperate times. England must prevail, Doctor, no matter the cost.
By doing so, you will also create two separate prisons.
Come, sir. An eminent doctor like yourself knows that such radical measures have proved efficient in the past.
Ладно.
Quarantine is not a bad idea, medically speaking. But I'm convinced this epidemic will not be contained by mere walls.
As long as the right people are on the right side of the wall, that's all that matters.
But you can't guarantee infection will not spread. Just one contagious carrier would be enough to create an apocalypse.
The apocalypse is already knocking at the gate. We must be strong now.
What if a new outbreak happens inside your walls? You'll have created a giant trap.
That won't happen. As long as we dispose of anyone that is contaminated as soon as they are spotted.
Так,
I've heard enough. It's time to proceed.
At last. All right, do what you have to do. If it hurts, so be it. I've been preparing such a long time for this.
Обратить. Но обращать я не буду. Забудьте о страхе смерти. Объять. Это, я так понимаю, выпью его кровь и убью. И ему понять вот это. Забудь о страхе смерти. Что оно даст. Он просто умрет и все. Не боясь.
You don't deserve immortality, Mr. Dawson.
What? What are you prattling on about?
I don't believe I've ever met a man so bereft of empathy. You, sir, are despicable.
No! Wait! You can't! I made a deal with Lord Redgrave. I'll finance whatever he wants. Please, just ask him.
Sleep now. Rest now. Forever.
Можно было его загипнотизировать, конечно, но...
I would have lived forever. Who are you to decide my fate? Who gave you the authority?
Можно было и загипнотизировать его. Сообщите лорду. Блин, а что мы ему скажем? Район пострадает в результате наших действий. Надеюсь, что не сильно он пострадает. Надеюсь, они против меня...
Dr. Reed? Is Aloysius Dawson reborn as expected?
Alas, Aloysius Dawson was not brought back to life after his death. The man is gone.
What? What happened?
Так, ну я думаю...
He didn't survive the procedure. He was too weak.
This is unacceptable, nevertheless. You were given the simplest task.
Well, get rid of me then.
From now on, you're an outcast. Banished. You are forbidden to ever appear in front of us again. Ascalon will smite you on sight, and your heart will be thrown to the rats.
I'll leave you then. Have fun with your puppets and shadow plays, Lord Redgrave.
Yes, go, traitor, and take that awful creature, that counterfeit of a woman I saw waiting for you, and be gone! Step away, traitor. Return to your dubious friends and your decrepit hospital. Do not dare show yourself again,
вот и результат.
you or that monstrosity you bring to my door.
О.
We meet again at the strangest of times, young Ekon. So do you serve the Earl of Bristol now?
Old Bridget, what are you doing here?
Your friend, the wise Ekon. She sent me to warn you.
Did anyone see you? It's a long way from the dock sewers, and hunters are patrolling the streets here.
Who said I took the streets?
How do you think I survived for centuries in this city without ever being seen? I know all her secrets.
Понятно.
How did you meet Lady Ashbury?
She came to us in the sewers in search of answers. Just as you did.
What kind of answers did you give her?
I knew nothing of your maker, but we talked. We talked a lot. Her words and ideas are captivating. It is no surprise that you like her. I like her too.
А что она в канализации
Lady
делала?
Ashbury in the sewers. Now that's a sight I wish I'd seen.
She said she was your friend, and that she sought the identity of your maker. So I answered her questions.
Lady Ashbury? You know her? Tell me what's going on.
The lady approached me but a few nights ago, wanting to meet the sewer skulls. Once she questioned Harriet Jones. She agreed to help us.
Harriet Jones is still with you then? How is she doing?
Harriet remains angry, but is recovering slowly. Her mind is twisted, but at least her body is healing.
Tell me what is going on.
The lady asked us to keep an eye on your mortal doctor friend while you were away. We spotted the hunters. They were discussing plans to attack tonight.
Wait, slow down. I need to ask you something.
I'm listening, but I do not have time to waste, so be quick.
Where is Lady Ashbury right now?
She said she will go home. She needed to speak with some old friends first, though. Do not worry, young Ekon. She is no fool, and just as strong as you.
Why do I feel like Lord Redgrave was particularly irritated to see you? Far more so than the average Skull, if I may say.
Because I used to know him quite well. And he is afraid I may remember who he really is.
You're Elizabeth's informant. You're the one who told her about Lord Redgrave's lies regarding his lineage.
Yes, but my words were not meant to hurt or threaten. I simply told the story of the sewer skulls, and of so many other forgotten children.
Как она тебя отыскала?
How did Elizabeth find you?
She presented herself humbly at our gate, and asked if we knew of any ancestral vampires hiding in London. She asked about Ascalon. She asked about many things.
What do you think of her?
Her soul is good, yet tainted with a deep sadness, and the scars of ancient wounds. Time does that to us immortals, for we have so much to dwell upon.
Why did she come to you?
I am old Bridget, the buried memory of the city. She sought the silent truths, truths I have kept hidden for so long.
No time to lose, then. I must go there right away.
I shall return to my den. Have you a message for the lady? Should I see her before you?
Что я люблю ее, передайте, что нам надо поговорить. Блин, ну так прямо не скажем, что я люблю, я думаю. Что я беспокоюсь за нее, передайте, что нам надо поговорить.
Tell her I worry about her.
Do not, for she has had strength and wisdom for so much longer than you. Go now and take care, young Ekon, for the flames are rising.
Блин, надо сказать, нам надо поговорить. Так, вот, я думаю, вот сюда. Как бы так пройти еще бы. О, это этот лорд. Один из лордов. давайте разберемся уже с этими всеми в клубе. Ух ты, достал! Да ё-моё. Вот только не хватало мне еще этого скаля. Серьезно, я 2 раза подряд промазал. Выносливости нету. Блин, вот шо, вот этот скаль тут забыл. Так, отходим. Так, с одним мы разобрались. Я понимаю, в скором времени мы с самим лордом будем тоже разбираться. Мне кажется, что этот район скоро падет просто. Так, сначала поговорим. По прямой, вот, все. Прямая дорога к леди Эшбери. Так, стойте, блин. Это у нас... Что у нас тут? Чуть-чуть не туда. Вот, прямая дорога теперь. Блин, без драки не пройти. Блин, все, не хочу с ними драться. Так, надо будет, кстати, еще прокачаться. 5000 очков, это ого-го. Что можно прокачать? Так, вон она на втором этаже. Сейчас мы к ней подойдем.
Elizabeth, I'm so happy to see you. I was so concerned.
Oh, Jonathan. I went to the docks. The place heaves with lurking skulls and vampire hunters. So many corpses. I have not seen such misery in so long.
Indeed, we stand upon the precipice. Has the news reached you of Edgar Swansea?
No. I returned home but moments ago. What of him?
Your friend, the well-informed old Bridget, tells me the Guard of Prewan has assaulted Pembroke. I fear Edgar tops their bloody list.
Bridget? She is such a tragic figure. And yet, I sense deep inside, she has a delicate, fragile soul.
Indeed, she has. I'm glad you like her too.
Once this is all over, I will study the sewer skulls. I fear I have made terrible mistakes, founded upon erroneous preconceptions.
I was concerned for your safety. McCullum draws too close to you for my comfort.
Fear not. I've evaded the hunters for many a year, and I intend to stay far from their gases, flames, and spikes. Now, speak to me of Dawson.
Aloysius Dawson is no more. I took care of him.
I imagine the Lord Redgrave with spitting teeth.
Ascalon has defrocked me and threatens to hound me from the city. This was, no doubt, inevitable.
You did what you thought was right at the time. One can ask no more. The important task now at hand is to help poor Edgar.
Now I am assured of your safety. That is precisely my intention.
Good. Now go, my dear, and return with good news with the greatest haste.
Ух, так. Надо найти убежище. И прокачать скиллы. О, вот и убежище нашел. Так, кого он бьет? Давай, 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 уходи, уходи. Неплохо. Клуб вампиров. Так, отлично. Так, а теперь прокачаемся. Так, нет, тут что тут надо? 26 уровень, я 24. Так, есть. И все еще 25-й. Ладно. Так, есть. Отлично. Так, а теперь надо 4000 очков. Тогда придется подождать. Так, тут 3000. Да. Ужасная новость для Лондона. Так, да, тут, конечно, все плохо. Враждебное. Так, тут вообще я район потерял. Вот что нам можно было и спасти тогда. Да. Все мертвы просто столпы. Так, ну этого я убил. Вот ее можно было тоже не убивать, а просто простить ей. Эх, ладно, что ж, ничего не сделаешь. Образец так концентрированной свежей крови. Ага, образец чистой крови. Неплохо. Так, попробуем прокачать, что у нас тут. О, вот это вот мне нравится. А теперь не хватает ингредиентов. Часть хорошей рукояти, надо 6 штук. Ну, неплохо. Вот. Ну что ж, друзья, на этом закончу данную серию. Продолжу уже чуть позже. Ну а кому понравилось, не забываем ставить лайк, подписываемся на мой канал. И всем до скорых встреч!